here. We are ready for some Starfinder action. We already have Mr. Atomic and Mr. Dan in his house. If you have not followed Dan Dazzle, shame on you, first of all. Second of all, go check him out. Lots of fun, very energetic player in all the different games he plays. A lot of Valiant, Rocket League, that type of stuff. I knew him when he used to play Jump King back in the day. And of course, Atomic, who I am not only happy to watch, but I also make sure give him a little bit of support. He's an awesome guy, great to watch in early in the mornings. Atomic_Hero Squad, check him out. And he is one of my most consistent viewers, which right now I desperately need. If I can just bump up, I'm at like 2.4 average viewers. If I can just get that little smidge more, get up to 3 average viewers, then I think the whole world will change. Just a smidge, that's right. See, let's put him on. Let's put Mr. Dan on the spot. Look at that. One of my oldest viewers. Not in age, but in time following. I appreciate you guys very much. All kidding aside, you guys are great help in helping me reach that next level. Just getting to affiliate. That's all I need is the average viewers. But enough about me whining. Let's make this a little bit bigger so people can see it. Scale UI, we're going to jump it up to, now you'll notice my chat menu is shrunk, because if you don't, it's going to bleed into the bottom of the screen. So we'll make it 110. There we go. So now people on phone are still screwed, but people in the on their PCs can see what's happening. All right. So I might actually switch campaigns here in just a moment. We'll see how we're doing. First of all, I like to check the calendar. Message of the day. I mean, not a calendar. If you click on your options up here, it'll open up your options, and on the bottom, they now have the message of the day. So when the players pop in, first thing they see is this message of the day. Perfect. That's exactly where they are, where we want to be. So here's the Horizon House. The other thing I use the message of the day for is to give them the map. That's right. Dan has been watching me for a year. So I've got a couple encounters set up. So something that I'm interested to see. This is actually a companion, the Shatalashu. Oh, there it is, image. Boom. So this is a companion. This can be owned by one of the players. It is a mount. It's basically like if you think of it like a horse, that's basically what its concept is, except this horse can claw the crap out of you and kill people if they get too close to it. So um, they killed the rider, And I'm sort of going to leave one other hint that this is sort of like a horse, a mount. And we're going to see if they take the bait, because with the right couple rolls and things, this, like I said, they could make this their own. Um, I might even go so far as to change the color from red. Let me do that. Let me make that the hint. I'm going to do that now. So what that's going to do is it's going to change it from an enemy to a neutral as they're looking at this thing. So it is just basically standing over the corpse of its rider. And I'm actually going to throw down a corpse. It's not something you hear every day. Turn it, zoom in a little bit. There's our dead body. See, all his glory. There you go. So he's just standing there. His rider's dead. He doesn't really know what to do. So we'll see what they do. Honestly, it's more for a little bit of a flavor, because this campaign, they're not going to be running through the wilderness or riding through a lot of places that would allow such a large beast to be ridden. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. All right, and so when we come in here, we have some soldiers. I'm really hoping they go this way, but odds are it looks like they're going to come this way. So when they come in here, let's take a look at that encounter. I don't think there's anything different with these soldiers. All right, so they're hiding behind a barrier that has a hardness of 5. So that means if they do 4 points of damage, it doesn't do anything. It just bounces off. If they do more than 5, then it does damage to it. Each 5 feet square has 50 hit points. So they have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so these 3 things they're hiding behind. Each take 50 points of hit points. If a noisy combat occurs here, luckily they don't have anybody with grenades at this point. And then if it's noisy enough, one of the other people from the other room will come in. So I'm just looking at these guys. I'm not sure why there's 1 and 2. Why wouldn't it just be 3 in the first place? Let's check them out and see if there's a difference. They are different. So one of them has a hunting rifle. 2 of them have the auto target rifles. Okay, so they're different weapons. They have frag grenades. Okay, there we go. So it's going to be loud, because as soon as more than one of them come through that door, or maybe as soon as the door opens, they might throw grenades out because they've heard the fight that was going on out there. That's why they're hiding in the first place. Yeah, I'm gonna have that. Grenades sound terrifying at this level, especially if they don't do hardly anything. The only benefit really to a grenade is that they damage more than one person at a time. I do want to check one thing real quick. So I have a Discord for my players, and I set up some homebrew rules for. I was looking for player art for my players, and I just don't remember. Something's nagging my mind about grenades. Let's see. Critical fumbles, improved healing serums, grenades are half the cost and value. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so it was the it doesn't really help the power of the grenades, just makes them cheaper. Like I said, 'cause they aren't that powerful. They don't do a whole lot. All right, so that's set up. So now let's check out and see where they're talking about. Do I have one thing I don't have is my DM map. And the reason I would want the DM map is just because it makes it a little bit easier to see where all the different rooms are by number. All right, C9. All right, so it's the room behind them, and there are two doors. Okay, cool. So what's happening is that these guys, Chamas, I got his little picture there. He also has a little squawks with him. He is the squawks master. And the funny thing is, one of my players also has a squawks companion. He has used him once, to my knowledge. Uh, he could be using him every time. All right, so the encounter, all they are these two people. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add them now because I'm about 90% sure that these guys are going to start, that my party is going to go this way for one. And as soon as they do, these guys are going to open up with grenades. Um, I want to make sure I remember that. And you would think, psh, why wouldn't you remember it? Of course. Well, stuff happens. By this time, I'm on my third day of work, getting up at 5 in the, starting work at 5 in the morning, getting up at 4:30, uh, working 10 hours, and then doing stuff all the way up for another several hours. Um, so I am not as youthful and spry as I used to be. So we're going to go ahead and right here, open this up and just put a reminder to the DM. Put a bunch of weird symbols like this. Cap locks it. So there we go. Can I? So this will remind me. So what's going to happen is somebody's going to come over here, and I'll be like, yeah, the doors are open, and it will look like. There we go. Look like this, and they'll be like, oh, no, I'm going to go ahead and unlock, open the door. So they'll click this button. Boom. I will lock the tokens. And then I'm actually going to have these three guys hidden. Well, no, I'll leave them where they can be seen. But then they're going to be tink, 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 as three grenades land at their feet. It will be fun. All right. And you're thinking three grenades in that tight area. How are they going to survive? Because, as I said, the grenades are not that exciting. Grenades do 1d6. And if they make their saving throw, they do half that. So between 1 to 3 damage instead of 1 to 6 damage. Um, and the difficulty is only 10. So they have to roll higher than a 10 on a d20, and then they add their dexterity or reflex save. So that's not going to do that much, but it's going to look cool and sound cool. So what I want to do is make it look and sound even cooler. I'm going to go to so I have a fireball over here. We're going to throw it over here. Um, we just go to our layers. See, and this will make it even more exciting for them. Move it. Boom. Tink, tink, tink. Boom. An explosion. I'll shrink it down just a smidge. Let's see. Right now it's 8 by 8. Let's make it 6 by 6. Actually, I'm going to leave it the width 8. I want the height 6. Unlock the aspect lock. Make the width 8. Boom. All right. There we go. And then you just hide it. So this will also remind me, it's visible to the GM only. There we go. So now, when they come in, tink, 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 boom, it explodes. Awesome. See, stuff like that adds a little flavor to it. Keeps it interesting. Let's definitely close these doors though. Go back to the play mode. Closed, closed. All right. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and move these around a little bit so they can. There we are. So these doors are still open, and left these doors open. Um, There we go. This is where they've been. So what I did was when I opened this door, it exposed that room to them. Because I wanted you guys to see what was going to happen. Um, so I took off, turned on and turned back off the line of sight. And what that does is it resets the map. So you'll notice where he's been over here, he still knows what's there. He doesn't know what's up here, for example. But because he's been there, he knows what's there. So I'm just zipping the characters through real quick where they've been so they can see where they've been. Make sure I did everybody. Because they will be confused if they can't see where they've been, as they should be able to do so. All right, so that's what's going to happen. They're going to come in, grenades are going to explode, turn off the player view. So the grenades are going to explode, which is going to alert them, and then on turn 3, they will come in and attack, join into the fray. So let's take a look at what our old Chamas can do, shall we? It's a good idea, even though I have read the book, um, skimmed through it and stuff. I have the actual physical copy of the book. So I can also pull it up and look at it in here. But going through and just get an idea of where his different skills are. So basically he has a pistol and a battle glove. And they drew it very well right here because Cestus battle gloves are made out of bone. So that's actually very nicely done right there. He also has some spells. Mind thrust. Okay, so this is the only thing they need to worry about. Sure, the Cestus battle glove looks amazing, but it does 1d4. The pulsecaster pistol, 1d4. Most 5 points damage because 1d4 plus 1. No big deal. Mind thrust, on the other hand, 2d10. 20 points of damage, possibly. Should mess some people up. Everything else on here isn't really that big a deal. Daze is pretty cool because it just knocks them out. They can't do anything for one turn. But it's only one turn. It says DC 13, but you don't get a save. It says will negates. What? Say what? A CR3 or holder, 4 or higher are not affected. Okay, so you do get a save. Okay, I thought it was automatic. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So good to know. Chamas will come in and just wreck things. But he's got some good armor. Got he has a serum of healing, which he will use. He has a bag of Squawks treats. Awesome, awesome, awesome. He has 5 stone spheres, which he can use for his telekinetic projectiles. Very nice. And then, not sure what, if anything, his little friend can do besides scratch their eyes out. So he bites them for 1d4 1. He can also steal their stuff. try to disarm people. So as a bonus action, you can use his acrobatics, disarm, or trip. Okay. And he can make somebody off target or entangled with a dirty trick. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I might have him do that as he runs up, steals his stuff. Make the token a little smaller. Make him a little bigger. Very cool. All right, so I'm excited about this. This should work really well. Him running in, tripping people. We'll see if they try to attack it. It has uses acrobatics bonus plus 10 to its attack. Nice. Has 20 health, so it can take one good hit, maybe two. So it'll run in, try to cause some confusion, and then zip back out. All right, so that gives us an idea of what's going to be happening during this fight, and how the whole adventure is going to be starting. Let me check my book, see if there's anything else I need to do in this campaign. We are working with Sven Joan, Dawn of Flame. No, I don't have anything listed. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and return to launcher and switch campaigns real quick. All right, and then let's. I'll be right back while I figure out why my dog is going nuts. All right, so we're shifting gears for a moment. We're going from our fire starters in the Dawn of Flame campaign to our ruined clouds in the Dead Suns campaign. I know these are just such great views. Webcam is awesome. I love it. I like it. I am not sad I have it, but trying to show stuff to people sometimes can be tricky. It's tricky, tricky, tricky. Um, but the Dawn of Flame campaign, our people are level 10. They started off on the main story. They found this drift globe. This rock. A ship had come out of the drift, which is basically like hyperspace, carrying this rock, this piece of an asteroid, hauling it behind them. But when they got to their destination outside this huge space station, nobody was on the ship. It was just a ghost ship. So our crew and the people who had been sent to do that were sent by this one organization to search the drift, and the other organization is was the ship belonged to this other organization, the Hard Scrabble Collective, and were hired by a company to go search the drift. So both of them were fighting, saying, "Wait a minute, this is our ship, this is our asteroid, whatever it is that they brought back belongs to us." Because one said, "Well, we hired them." The other one said, "Well, yeah, but they belong to us in the first place, so you hired us, so it's ours." So the whole point was the group was sent to explore this asteroid. Um, they get to the asteroid and find out it's actually part of this millennia old space station. Some piece of the space station was ripped off somehow, and so nobody knew anything about this technology or the writing on these computer consoles. There was this ancient robot that was barely functioning. They do some investigation, and there's one place where this writing shows up again, and it's on this jungle planet called Castrovel in these ancient temple, sort of like these pyramid temples. Um, an elven temple, or they believe, is where they see there's some writing has shown up again. So they go to that planet, trek through the jungle, get to this temple, find out that there is this thing called a stellar degenerator. It's a weapon that will destroy suns. And they also find out that this group called the Cult of the Devourer, whose whole sole purpose is just to destroy everything, is after this weapon. And so they start going, following the clues, leads them way out into this asteroid belt. In the meantime, they've run across this thing called the Corpse Fleet a couple times, where this is undead army who wants to take over the Pact Worlds. And so they are fighting the Cult of the Devourer, the Corpse Fleet, to try to find. It's a race to see who can find this weapon first. Um, and so they get to the asteroid belt, find some more clues, and determine that there's some more clues out way past the Pact Worlds, out in the middle of nowhere in the vast. So they follow, they shoot out there. Again, they were a step behind these Cult of the Devourer the whole time, because the Cult of the Devourer is the one that's uh, finding out all this information. So they get out in the middle of nowhere on this giant gas planet. There's a floating rock city, remains of another ancient civilization that has devolved into barbarism, and wild natives basically, uh, and the Cult of the Devourer people had come there, basically killed a bunch of people to get into this one place they wanted to look at, which was sacred to the natives, got the information they needed, and left. Well, the natives freaked out and were like, okay, we're locking this thing down. No one else is going in here. We don't even know what these flying rocks are that they're and ships are. It's beyond our understanding. So when the party arrives, they're all up in arms. So they had to figure out another way to get into this thing where the Cult of Devourer found this information. So they do a bunch of searching. They go end up in this security office, get the key, the override code for the maintenance code for the admin lock for the alarm system, and they go to this temple found, this big building, and that's where they are now. So the whole purpose for being here is to find out what information the Cult of Devourer found out in this location. That's why they're here. And So let's take a look at what we're looking at. So you can see here, my chat menu is down below. I can't pull it up. I can't do anything. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Just click inside the chat box. Click, click, click. Then you just type scale, SC /scale UI space. We're going to bring it down to 100. And I mistyped something. You're killing me here, folks. /SCALEUI space 100. Enter. Okay, so let's see if it'll let me move it at all. I'm not sure what it is I'm typing. There it is. All right, so I grabbed it right from here. That worked. So just out of curiosity, what was I typing that it didn't like me? Ah, it's all caps. Okay, I didn't know I had my cap locks on because I had the oddest computer in the world. My keyboard does not have any means of showing me when my cap lock is on. I know, it makes no sense. I've never seen a keyboard that didn't have some sort of indication that your cap lock was on. All right, so that's what it was. Never mind. So I was doing it correctly. It was just all in caps, so it wasn't helping that it would have worked. All right, so let's go look at our story. So this is the map of the city I was telling you about, the floating city that's above a giant gas giant. Giant gas giant? Yeah, that's right. They are actually not here. They are actually inside. They went around over here. Boom. All right, so this is where they are in the temple found, and they're trying to get that information. This is my map. So it's a little bit confusing at first, but if you look at it, you see these little gray lines coming up because this is above all this. This is the only floor, the only section on that one floor. Then they take the stairs down, tick, boom, and they come up in here. And that's where they are right now. So let's see the real map. So what had happened was they have an impetuous player, and now you would say, you would say player. Don't you mean an impetuous character? No, I mean player because this player does it all the time, no matter what game he's in or what type of character he plays. His character always just wanders off, opens doors, moves ahead, does stuff, especially now that we have line of sight and fancy ground, we let them move their own tokens. So I'm trying to break him of that habit. I don't think I will be successful, but the point is he had wandered in, and there are these four elementals. Had they been sneaky, had they cracked open the door to look in first, or been quiet, they would have been able to all get in there. But as it happens, he came down the steps, opened the door, and walked in. So immediately, this fire elemental zipped up and started attacking. So the earth and the fire worked together, the air and the water work together. And for example, the fire and the water don't work together, air and earth don't work together. So what they did is these two, knowing that there's nothing they can do here, they move back. So they're just sitting here chilling, waiting for this fight to be done. They have been seen, but the rest of them don't know what happened or where they went. Um, and so it's going to be just going to make for a longer, more involved fight, which is fine. Um, all right, so that answers that question. So in the description of this room, it talks about these two containers. And at first, so the southern half of this spacious chamber is divided into two metal containers. And I didn't realize these are the containers themselves. They're not separate rooms. All right, see, so here, that's what the characters can see. All right, so that answers that question. We're just going to do a little bit more research, see what else. So the next time they should finish this fight, and now they're going to go into the containers. So in the containers, here it is. All right, so most of the equipment has degraded. Um, there is an X-ray visor, but it was built for the three-eyed Kitcheli. Images. I'm going to pull up an image of a Kish, just so they can be reminded what the Kish look like. So there you go. See, they have three eyes. Boink, boink, boink. So there's an X-ray visor, which will work if they fix it. Let's unlock this. Throw my image of the Kish in there. Boom. So now this will be, I can just remind them what they look like. It's been a while since they've seen these guys. So pictures are always cool. If they try to use it, they get a fitting headache and be sickened for an hour afterwards. So let's see what this does. Sensor is worn as an adjustable viewer resting over the eyes like goggles, sends out X-rays and interprets the information gathered as an image and imposes over your normal vision. So we can see through, it's blocked by materials such as 2 feet of wood, a foot of stone, 2 inches of common metal, or 1 inch of lead. Limits you to black and white vision while you're using it. For 60 feet, okay? And you use it as a move action. So basically, just gives you regular vision through some of these things. 2 inches of common metal, 1 inch of lead, or a foot of stone. All right, so they'll be able to see through most walls, most of these walls and such. Um, that's pretty cool. I don't know that it will help them necessarily here, but we'll see. Plus, they're going to have to spend an hour and a engineering check to fix it. So I don't think they're going to take that hour as soon as this fight is done. So they may not be able to use it while they're in the Temple Found. All right, so in here, the offices are empty, except for this one here who has a body. Boom. Same body I used for the other campaign, by the way. So that bothers me. So we're going to go ahead and fix that right now. Go to my assets, go here to tokens and do dead. There we go. All right, so we have female, an orc, a headless guy. So this guy, we're just going to delete, remove token, right click on it. That's how I did that, was right click up to the top and over. And then we're going to take this guy who's different. Poof, there we go. And so if you missed before, you right click right here, it says delete token, and then it'll ask you to confirm it. All right, so let's go ahead and turn it. There we go. You can also hold control to shift it a little bit, twist it, whatever. All right, so there's a dead body. That doesn't look like this guy. I have plenty of dead bodies, so why not use more than one, you know? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? All right. So that's set up that way. I presume then, actually no, there is definitely going to be through this door is the next step. They go into here. So in here, there are a couple cool things. So we have another companion. Oh no, it's not. I was mistaken. So these guys are native to this little rock floating above the gas giant, and they fought them already. Well, this person here has trained them. So he has a couple of these guys that are trained and will fight with him. Awesome, awesome. So he has a special feat named Cleave that allows him to hit two creatures. So in Starfinder, anybody that they don't have to train can do what's called a full attack. If they don't do anything else during the round, they can attack two people. Or, I mean, they can attack twice, but to get a -4 to both of those attacks to hit. Um, there's one special person, the soldier, if they take a certain feat, or if they have a certain class, I forget exactly which way it works, who will eventually get to make 3 attacks at a -6 per attack. Um, other than that, multi-attack doesn't exist in Starfighter. Um, but what this cleave feat does is it just makes it very specific. If you attack somebody, if you hit, if someone else is adjacent to the first person you attacked, so if all 3 of those things are met, you can then do a second attack against that second target at full value with no minuses. So it doesn't happen as often as you may think. Or maybe it does. I don't know what you're thinking. Alright, so I put lights in these rooms already. That's what this is. This is a light. There are lights already here too. So let's take a look and see what our lighting looks like. Go to our unlock here. Boom. Go to disable lighting. See? So there are 3 lights in here. That's why this is fully lit. It's lit. So these things are lights from the foundry, but the building doesn't have power. So that's why you can't see anything. This lights up the whole room, so if nothing else, they'll be able to see in here. So it's cool. It's cool. Let's say it's cool. There we go. All right. All right. So we have an idea of what's going on with this one as well. They're going to come in here. They're going to fight these guys. So if we read what's happening here in this research library, close this out. It says that there's a bunch of desks in the chamber. What's happening now is that person, that Becky, is in here, and she's an animal trainer. She's brought the 2 creatures with them, quote, Q and Rho. So she's trying to teach them how to leap from desk to desk. So it says, if she hears them coming, she attempts to hide in the west half of the room and positions her pets to flank. And if they kill either of her pets, she will fight to the death. All right, so let's see where they put her and her pets. See if we want to change that. So you open up the encounter, and you click the down arrow, and that adds it to the combat tracker. By adding it to the combat tracker, it sets them here. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of turn off the lighting. They're going to be coming through here. So I'm going to set her up. Says she shoots and then moves up to engage. So I actually like this. Move this up. They're going to come in. They're going to move around. Let me look and see what the line of sight is like in here. Okay. So we need to fix this real quick. I'm going to set up a terrain wall. Well, so I'm really hosed. I'm just going to have to rely on them to use their theater of the mind, because if I set up a wall, it's going to make it almost impossible to do anything in this room. And then that would mean that these cubicles, you wouldn't be able to see beyond. And realistically, you can. You can see past them. Um, Anywho, let's go ahead and move him in here. Him here. And then she will be here. Yep, she's right where she is. So as they come around the corner, he will attack. He will come out and attack. She will stand up and shoot. That works for me. So what we do is we go click, click, click. That removes them from being placed. You notice it says placement. So if there's no check, that means they haven't been placed. So what I do now is I go here, remove this. Didn't mean to close the window. Go into the combat tracker, right click on him, delete the item. Hi, Becky. And get rid of him. And if you're wondering why I'm not mocking the name Hi, Becky, yes, it's too easy. Dank plays games. Do you know how to attach light to a PC? I absolutely do. Give me just a second here. Let me throw these 3 people on here, and I'll be glad to show you that. Boom, boom. Oops. He's going to go here. And Hi, Becky's going here. All right, so now you see that they're placed, and we will close it. And it takes them away until you add them again. All right, so let's add light to a character. So we go here, and this can be for a, he says PC, it could also be an NPC. So we'll go to, you want to go to your lighting. We'll first of all enable the lighting so we can see what's going on. We'll turn off the player preview for a second. We'll look at that in a moment. You can also do it up here. Go to your lighting. So if you click on the PC, so we go to this here. So what we're doing is whether it's a PC or an NPC is irrelevant. What we're actually adding light to is the token. The only difference to that is if a PC has dark vision or or one of those, uh, the token vision and the token light are what we're going to be messing with. So token vision is usually automatic for, and this is the same for D&D or Starfinder or Savage Worlds. Most of the core sets are the same. The only thing that changes are what is in this preset. So like Dark Vision, I don't think is in Savage Worlds or Vampire the Masquerade. So you wouldn't have that in as one of your site choices for a token. Um, but if it's already in their senses for Starfinder or D&D, then they already have this vision. You don't have to do anything. If they have like night vision goggles, dark vision goggles of dark vision, for example, then you would add it. They can have blind sight or true sight in Starfinder, and you can change how far all that stuff is as well. So to add the light, you go here to token light. So let's say Serena here has cast the light spell. So she will, what you do here is you go to preset. You can pick the type of preset you want. And in this case, it's going to be the light spell. And then all you would do if you like everything the way it's set for the preset for the light spell is you just click this right here. It says add light. Click, boom, and you can see she has a little bit of light that shows up. If you delete the light, boom, it goes away. It's a little subtle, but add, delete. And it will then move with that token. because we've added it to the token. Now, sometimes I don't know exactly what the rhyme or reason is. Sometimes when you move a token from map to map, it won't switch over. So you just have to do it again. But it's like I said, you just click the token, make sure you're clicking the token, have it selected, and then right there, add light with the token. So we can do the same thing. So what I'm going to do with the fire elemental, you would think the fire elemental would have fire. So we're going to add the build it from scratch. So we're going to say it flickers because I've deleted my map mid-session before. Yeah, it can get annoying, you close the map or can't find it, um, stuff like that. It gets tricky. If you screw with the layers down here, you can delete your layer and stuff. So yeah, it can get messy. I understand that. So we've got our token selected for our fire elemental. We're going to make it flicker. Why isn't it working? Flicker. Let's see. We're going to put it on torch. So that gives him a flicker. The speed is 25. We're going to change the color a little bit. Go to the color picker and make it match him. Do we want it to be more orange? We'll make it a little bit more orange. Pick the part of him that's orange. Click it so it changes it to that color. Say OK. And then add light. So now you see he's got the other lights are also are making everything clear, but you can see because his is a little bit stronger and he's farther away, you can see the yellow. And you can just change the flickering. See a tiny little pulse there, might be hard to see on your screen, but you can change the amount of flickering because he's pulsing, flickering and stuff. So that's how you add it to the tokens. Um, Adding light to the actual map is similar. So if you click here to select light, and then you can then see what's already on the map. So you can see I added the lights here we were talking about before. All you do is same thing. You pick the light you want to do it. Come here to add light. Pick if it's a lantern, if it's a beacon, what you want it to do, what color you want it. Once it's all set where you want it to go, you just click on the map, boom, and it adds it. And then if you're like, well, I don't want that light there, click on it again and delete it. So you can also click up here. This will delete the whole layer of lights. So if you added a bunch and you're like, man, I don't like how this looks, it's terrible, that clicks the whole layer of lights. This one will delete the one individual light. So if I go here, if I add these lights, I'm like, no, I don't like how that works. Click on here, select light, click it, delete it, and just deletes that one individual light. All right, so, and thank you very much for stopping by, Dank Plays Games. I appreciate you. Um, so if you have any other questions, let me know real quick. Otherwise, that's going to do it for me for today. Uh, if you're curious about anything else, want to see how this plays out, check it out. You can look down below. You can see the schedule. You can also go to, if you want to watch it live, we play this on Sunday nights. We'll be playing this Sunday night at 5:30. You can also see how how they've come to this point. Search YouTube for Spencer77. You'll see all my playlists. This particular one is the Dead Sons. We also do Dawn of Flame every other Sunday night. Hello, Zinlu. Zinlu is here. Very excellent gamer, streamer, all around good guy. Check him out. Um, definitely worth your time. So check me out on YouTube. I'll be here next week, same time, 10:30 in the morning on Wednesdays. I do the same thing with Dungeons and Dragons. So if you have questions about how to prep Dungeons and Dragons, come check it out on uh, on Tuesdays. Um, tomorrow, speaking of City of Heroes that Zinlu was last playing, I'm going to be starting a new stream, a City of Heroes stream. I also do Magic the Gathering Arena on Thursdays, so I'll be doing the two of those two streams tomorrow. Um, and of course, my live play D&D on Wednesday night. Tonight I'll be doing that. So check them all out. Look at the schedule below. Like, subscribe. Um, you can always ask for a quote. Just by typing exclamation quote. Um, so as I said, like, subscribe, whatever else you do after you check out Atomic Hero Squad and follow him and Zinlu and follow him and Dan Dazzle. Follow them. Enjoy the rest of your day.